Welcome to another episode of Setting the Score, powered by Rexona, your go-to sports show where we debate the most important topics in NBA basketball. Every week, expect the hottest takes presented by new Rexona Ice Cool, now in anti-stain technology. And today, we will be discussing who will win the West. Is it going to be Team Steph or is it going to be Team Harden? And folks, we want to get you guys to join us in this debate as we have, of course, another debater for each side representing Team Steph and Team Harden. But before that, we want to ask you to join us in our discussion. Join us in our social media pages. Give us your comments, your reactions to what these debaters will be saying. We want you to use the hashtag #TheScoreByRexona and tag us at ABS-CBN Sports on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and let your voices be heard. All right, today we're talking about the guys who are battling out in the Western Conference Finals. Just this morning, we had another incredible game, another bounce-back game, of course, won by the Warriors, instead of, if you're sleeping under a rock and didn't see it today. But let me introduce you to today's protagonists. To my right, we've got debating for Team Steph. We've got Adrian D, of course, our editor-in-chief of NBA Philippines. And he's wearing the Curry shirt. Wow! Handang-handa.
Can we cut to it?
Hindi siya nag-prepare, no? To my left naman, we've got Enzo Flojo, known as the Hoop Nut, of course, from ABS-CBN Sports as well. And he'll be defending Team Harden as he feels the beard.
I don't need no shirt.
He doesn't need a shirt. He's got his
the wrong
stats.
color jacket also.
Medyo red naman yan. Okay, let's get it on. Let's talk about the faces of these two teams, of course. Steph Harden against Steph Curry going up against James Harden. It's been a matchup we've all been waiting for since the start of the season when we heard that Chris Paul would be joining the Rockets. But from what we've seen so far in the first 3 games, why do you still feel confident that your boy and his team has what it takes? I'll start with you, Adrian. Why do you think your guy, Steph Curry, has an edge over James Harden?
Simply put, nasa 3-point era tayo ng NBA, and Steph Curry is the best 3-point shooter in the entire NBA.
Okay.
And it goes without saying, di ba? He's climbing up those 3-point shooting charts. He's led the league in 3-point shooting multiple years, and just watch this morning's game. I mean, he went 7 for 7 from the field, including 2 3-pointers. 18 points, broke the game wide open.
That was the third quarter,
That was in the third quarter. Pero sabihin natin, minsan, Curry didn't have a good game in game 1, game 2. That's true. However, hindi lang sa points na magaling si Steph Curry because he's a great passer. He always gets his teammates involved in the game. He sacrificed his spot and his shots to get Kevin Durant onto the team and to get him acclimatized to the Warriors offense. No other superstar would do that, but Steph Curry did. And of course, you say he's not hitting 3-point shots. He only hit 2 in games 1 and 2 combined, but he's always driving to the rim. In fact, if you look at his percentage on shots within 5 feet of the basket, he's shooting at almost a 79.5% clip against a team na may Clint Capella. Imagine that.
For a guy that small.
Exactly. And so, he has the inside shot. He has the 3-point shot back. He's a great teammate. I don't know what else you can say.
Well, let's swing it over to the other side. Para naman kay Enzo, why do you think Harden has the edge? I mean, he said, of course, Steph had a great game today, but we did see what happened to him in games 1 and 2, and how Harden performed in games 1 and 2. Tell us about your boy, why you think he has the edge over Steph.
Well, we're talking about this season.
Okay.
Not the past few seasons. We're talking about this season, this series, and 3 letters.
Okay.
MVP.
MVP.
He's going to be MVP. You can lock that in, Teach. You can lock that in, AD. And
As the NBA managing editor, we cannot exactly say MVP siya.
I'll lock it in for you. I'll lock it in for you.
Okay.
James Harden's going to be MVP. You have to look at the body of work, not just 1 quarter, not just 1 series even. His body of work for the entire season. He's the best player for the entire league this season, leading Houston to 60-plus wins, #1 seed in the entire playoffs. And you look at the first 3 games in this series. 41 points in the first game, 27 points second game, 20 points game 3. Okay, he's been on a tear. Granted, they lost game 3 quite convincingly. I'll give you that, AD. I'll give you that.
Ilang points?
But
41 lang naman.
It's only the biggest
look at
Rockets
the
loss.
He's been playing really, really well.
Okay.
And kanina sabi mo, Teach, bounce back. This is a bounce back series. Game 1 goes to Golden State. Game 2 to Houston. Game 3, Golden State. He's going to bounce back in Game 4. He's going to have a big game. Believe in the beard, AD.
The average winning margin has been 26-something points per game.
You got to believe in the beard. You can't discount the 3 letters again, MVP.
All right, well, let's swing it to the other side again. And of course, as much as we've got the superstars, the alpha dogs, they do need the support. For your side, why do you think the Warriors have that edge as a team over I gotta admit as well, the much improved Rockets for this season.
So sabi nga ni Hoopnut na James Harden has had really big, explosive performances. That's fine.
Okay.
Because sharing is caring, I believe. And for the Golden State Warriors, it is. And with the Golden State Warriors, they share the ball so well na it doesn't take just one player. It can be multiple players. And we've seen that, especially in this morning's game, na their entire starting five scored in double digits. This Warriors team shares the ball so well na they have an assist percentage of 67.3. That's number 1 in the regular season. Kapag sa playoffs naman, they have a 65.0 assist percentage, and that's tops among the 4 teams sa Final Four.
There, okay.
So they're still number 1. So there's lots of ball movement. The offense is never staggered. It's never just James Harden gets the ball, dribble for 18 seconds, and then tries to score. That's never the case. We have beautiful basketball. They move the ball around and find the open man. Pero sige,
Magandahan mo para may
let's put aside the offense. On defense naman, look how versatile they are. With the depth lineup, every person in that squad has long limbs and can defend their Houston Rockets counterparts or even their other counterparts when they switch everything. And so when you look at the way the Warriors are created, they have the best of both worlds on offense and defense, whereas the Rockets, they have a few standout offensive players like Harden and Chris Paul. They have a few capable defenders like PJ Tucker, but do they have guys who can do both? I don't think so.
Interesting. Okay, para naman sa Rockets, Enz, we mentioned it. The season started, everybody salivated when they saw Chris Paul come in. Pero remember back then, we were talking to both of you as well. Nagtataka tayo, how can they share the ball? Parehong ball dominant. Yet they figured it out, and through the season, step up din yung kanilang supporting cast. Are they enough, though, to compete against their Hamptons Fives and the rest of the Warriors supporting cast?
Well, this team is tailor-built to beat Golden State.
The Warriors.
They've shown in the season that they could do it.
Yep.
They showed in Game 2 they could do it. Bad loss in Game 3, fine. But it's not over yet. Game 4, they will bounce back. You have a lot of 3-and-D guys there on Houston's team, and that's all they need. One can make the argument that Golden State has more talent, more long-limbed, all-around players, and okay, fine. But we don't need that down in Houston. All we need, James Harden and CP3. You throw them the ball, and you got shooters on the corners, 3-and-D. That's all you need. One big guy, Clint Capella, to clean up the trash. That's all you need. And yes, every team will have a bad game, like in Game 3. I'll give you that. Again, AD. But like you said, sharing is caring. James Harden, much improved, 9 assists in the loss earlier today. If he has the same amount of assists, or the same style of game in Game 4, if his teammates shoot a lot better, they will win Game 4. And Mike D'Antoni said after Game 3, they made a lot of mistakes, but all those mistakes are correctable. And he's confident they will bounce back in Game 4. With that supporting cast, someone as explosive as Eric Gordon coming off the bench, and if he does shoot as well as he did in Game 2, it's going to be lights out Game 4. Houston going back home 2-2.
Okay, here we go. So final points for each of your sides. I'll let this be an X factor. Whatever you want to say about each team, why you think they have that ultimate edge to win the Western Conference.
Well, I just want to point out something he said na magiging 2-2 because he expects them to win at Oracle Arena. The Warriors have won 16 straight postseason games. Going back to last season pa, that's a record na they beat Jordan's Bulls in doing that. So I don't know.
Another Bulls record
just
beaten. Okay.
Jordan's Bulls. Pero ito lang
but what happened the last time they beat a Bulls record? It did answer pretty
well.
Yeah. We'll see. Pero ito lang yung deciding factor. The Hamptons Five, they've all been to the finals. Coach Kerr has been to the finals, some of them multiple times. James Harden has been to the finals once. Chris Paul, never.
Never, yep.
Sporting cast, largely never. When you need to know what it takes to get there, the Warriors know what they need to do to get there. I don't think your Rockets players know what it takes to get there quite yet.
And remember last year, the last game we saw James Harden in the playoffs,
I didn't want to bring that up, but now that you brought that up.
No, kasi we're talking about that final moment.
I have the line here.
Iba na ba yun, Enzo?
That was 10 points and 2 of 11 shooting against, and he fouled out against those Spurs.
Forget the past. Record broken. They lost. Harden disappeared last year. Pero what's their ultimate edge, Enzo? If you have one major thing to say.
Well, the thing is, you can't. I don't want to argue the future using tidbits from the past.
You call them the MVP.
Here's the thing, AD. I mean, when Golden State first reached their big title run, everyone said, they could do it before they couldn't do it.
Okay.
It was the first time in the finals, whatever. Same thing here. Every team, every great player needs a big, wall to crash and to, to be able to stumble and stuff. And Golden State is that wall for James Harden and CP3. If MJ had his Detroit Pistons
back then,
this is James Harden's Pistons. And there will come a time that wall will tumble, and I got a feeling, you know what, for D'Antoni and all his losses, for CP3 and all his losses, for James Harden and whatever heartbreak he had, especially last season, that wall's going to tumble. The home court advantage is going to come through. When they win Game 4 and bring it back home 2-2, they're going to win Game 5, and it's going to be lights out.
The wall's going to tumble.
It's going to be
Harden.
Houston.
Ilang games?
Quashing Houston, quashing
in
Golden
6 games
State.
or in 7 games?
7 games at home. 7 games at home. 7 games at home.
5 games.
The Hamptons.
you're calling
Is
it
that a hot
five
take?
from now
Is that
on.
a hot take?
It's a realistic
That's
take.
a hot
The
take,
Hamptons.
really?
He's calling it a sweep
You're
from now
betting
on.
against the
All
MVP
right.
here.
He's not the MVP.
He's
I
gonna
just
be
want
the
to reiterate
MVP,
that.
He's gonna
Mga
be
galit
the
yung
MVP.
NBA
Wala
office.
pang awards.
Hindi pa
Respect
siya
the MVP. Come on.
Nagkaroon na ng
Come on,
botohan,
AD.
hindi pa nabibilang. So, chill tayo dyan. We'll find out after
In
the finals
June,
in a
yes.
special awarding ceremony.
I know now.
Okay, meanwhile, we go back to the polls as we had this vote put out on social media. But as well, we'll look at the tweets. Some of the people who had their comments already before the show, we asked them who they think will win it all in the West. Is it Team Steph or Team Harden? Sabi ni Andy Lacorte, I'll go with James Harden and the rest of the Houston Rockets. They have a good play and sportsmanship like the Spurs, all right? And our next comment from Junrey More, Golden State Warriors pa rin na magja-champion this season. Houston, Boston Cavs, wala na yan. Kahit buhay ko pa ang ipusta.
Wow.
Wag naman, Junrey. Pero we get you. We get your
Fanatic
intensity.
fan.
Yeah.
Confident.
Louis Lapitan, kaya lang naman nag-champion ang Golden State kasi nasa kanila si Durant. Kung wala si Durant, sa Golden State, panis siyang Golden State sa Rockets. Real talk. All right, interesting point. He's talking about Durant, but he is part of the team. Okay, who is ahead in this poll? We asked you who will be ahead, who will be winning the West. Is it Team Steph or Team Harden? Ito po, ang results ng ating poll so far, 66% said it's Team Steph. And only
It's recency
34%
bias.
said
It's recency
it's
bias.
Team Harden. Pwede ganun. Pero yan, ang hatol ng mga kapamilya natin finding out and seeing what they say on social media. Well, we want to thank you all for joining us today. That's their comments. Those are their votes. You can still comment on this page. You can still vote as well. It's not yet over. Do you like what Adrian said? Do you like what Enzo said? Do you believe in them? You want to rebut them? Go ahead. Just tweet us. Just use the hashtag #thescore by Rexona and go to our social media pages wherever you're watching this, on YouTube, on Facebook, or on Instagram at ABS-CBN Sports. So I want to thank you for joining us. We'll see you again next week for your favorite, The Score by Rexona, right here, and we'll see you for more of these debates about NBA basketball.